As defense spending in the United States dwindles down, the defense industry is pushing to expand their market of drones. And they're looking not only to our overseas allies, but to groups right here in the U.S. Commonly used in military operations, drones are now finding airspace domestically. We're talking drones being used for things like wildlife conservation, surveillance of farmland, Border Patrol, and drug enforcement. Recently, we learned about the International Association of Chiefs of Police giving recommendations for the use of drones by police agencies. But are we really at the point where police need unmanned aerial vehicles in order to keep us safe? Or is this just a way for the defense industry to ensure they are still reeling in the dough in a time when the wars are dying down? To help answer this, Amy Stefanovich, Associate Litigation Counsel for Epic, joins me now. Welcome, Amy.
Hi.
So, first, I want to start off talking about law enforcement. We had just mentioned that this Association of Police Chiefs, coming out with this code of conduct for the use of drones within police forces. Is this the beginning of drones being used by police forces on a regular basis?
I really think it is. Police chiefs across the country have publicly said that they are interested in drone technology, that they want to be able to use it. There's been a real pushback, however, thankfully, by people who say that they're not going to accept this being used by just police in their districts doing normal surveillance. So the code of conduct is a first step. Unfortunately, it's not enforceable. It can be changed at any point. And it really is questionable on when it applies or not, seeing as when police have used surveillance technology in the past without feeling that they needed a warrant.
And now that the wars are dying down, these defense industries are looking to sell drones domestically. Would you say there's a big market for them?
There is a huge market. Now, the problem is the defense drones are actually very expensive. We have a problem with drone technology because it can be very cheap. It can allow an incredible amount of surveillance at a low cost. However, the defense drones are expensive, so you're going to have to see who is willing to purchase these drones. However, these are capable of being weaponized. They can carry incredibly invasive surveillance equipment. They're very, very high-tech vehicles. So we should keep an eye on who they're sold to and what these people plan to do with them, because there is a high capacity for abuse.
Now, you had mentioned that they're very expensive, the drones that are used in the military, but as they look to expand these drones domestically, could they kind of, tailor the drones to make them more affordable so that they can expand them to domestic markets?
Of course, they can take off a lot of the weaponry, a lot of the more advanced surveillance technology. There is a market for these on the border. Customs and Border Protection already own 10 of the Predator drones, which are the drones that are being used overseas, the defense drones. So they might be able to sell them to Customs and Border Protection and to other administrative agencies and maybe even police departments in the United States who would like to purchase these for increased surveillance. I mean, it's also possible that police chiefs, maybe across an entire state or region, would want to purchase just one drone to surveil the entire area.
Now, Amy, I want to take a look. We kind of compiled this list of domestic drone uses today. If we can bring that up there. The first one, Border Patrol, Drug Enforcement Agency operations, U.S. Police Force, and then it kind of gets away from law enforcement to conservation efforts, monitoring crops, and then catching cow thieves also. So it looks like the possibilities are endless.
They are, and I would add to your list, they're being used in real estate for people to catch videos of houses to put up on YouTube or wherever to sell houses. They're being used by the paparazzi in what many would feel is a very privacy invasive manner. So really, anything you can think about a drone being used for, they're being used. Journalism is another big area where drones are starting to be used more and more often.
I'm not sure if RT is thinking about using drones. I haven't heard that yet. But keeping on this, with them possibly becoming more widespread, some of the safety and privacy concerns associated with seeing more drones hovering in our skies.
Exactly. There are incredible amounts of safety concerns. Epic is, of course, focused on the privacy concerns. We're asking the FAA to regulate this industry, to say that there are only specific purposes you can use a drone for, that you have to be transparent with those purposes, and if you go outside of what you say that you're going to use it for, that you can be held accountable for that. So we're really in the forefront of this. Over the next couple of years, Congress has required the FAA to allow more and more drones to be used. So we're coming out now and trying to make sure that privacy is protected at this point. So, 2 years down the line, when everybody is already on film all the time, somebody isn't all of a sudden thinking, oh, we should probably look at this.
So you're saying that the focus now is regulation because, I mean, at this point, is it just inevitable that drones are part of our future?
Well, Congress has said they are. And at this point, unless Congress comes back and says, we were just kidding, we're going to revoke what we said before, there's going to be a huge push for them. They're making sure they're allowed in the United States airspace. They're requiring regulations to be loosened to let more of them in. So unless we're able to come in and require some baseline protections at this point, 30,000, I think, is the number that they're saying are going to be in the air in the next 10 years.
30,000 drones.
30,000 in the U.S.
In our air. I mean, at this point, I know today we have 7,000 operating drones, 12,000 more on the ground. So you're saying that within 10 years, that number is going to triple.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. Really quickly, we don't have that much time, but these agencies and companies that use these drones, they say, they're finding uses for them that we're able to do our jobs more effectively. So, do you think that drones can be used in a positive way, or do you think it's kind of just a dangerous idea altogether?
There have been positive uses for it. They've been used to track missing hikers when they're in the forest and they can't be found and save lives. They've been used to discover environmental abuse. In one notable case, it was observing a river and they found a river of blood flowing out of a factory, and it was able to discover that there's tremendous environmental abuse.
Wow.
So as long as they're used in a way that is not to spy and surveil on individuals in the United States, there are positive uses. However, we want to make sure that that's
All
kept.
right. Amy, thanks so much for coming on the show. We are out of time. Great to have you here. That was Amy Stepanovich, Associate Litigation Counsel for Epic.